Hello everyone, welcome to my video. This is my Mission Impossible rating, least favorite to favorite, tier list as well, a little 2 for 1. I'm gonna start doing these videos now on some of my favorite franchises, movies, all that kind of stuff. So, for this one, like I said, this will be the Mission Impossible movies, from Mission Impossible 1 in 1996 to all the way till The Final Reckoning, which just came out this year. I enjoy all these movies, and I decide to watch these movies every year or two, you know, kind of tradition. I usually sit and watch a couple franchises like that every year or two, you know, whatever. And whether I like the movies or kind of or not really as much, whatever, I end up watching every single one of them. 1 through 8, I guess now, I'll watch. I enjoy the series. I always have something that I find in them that I have fun with. Just want to do a fair warning here, there will be spoilers ahead for every single one of these Mission Impossible movies, including the newest one, The Final Reckoning. Now, my number 8, my least favorite Mission Impossible movie, this goes to Mission Impossible 2, the John Woo directed film. Yes, this is my least favorite. It's the classic kind of late 90s, early 2000s cheese, which, watching today, I actually kind of enjoy. And there are some stuff in it that I do like, the motorcycle stuff, the action's, you know, alright. This movie would be a half hour shorter if they cut out all the slow-mo, which is insane. The movie takes a lot to get going, the plot is meh, the villain is meh. The characters are, yeah, you know, it's not very good. The action is not the best in this movie. There's a couple fun scenes, like I said, the bike gladiator and them jumping at each other there. It's silly. The movie's silly. I still have fun with it. You know, after watching the first one, I go, here we go with Mission Impossible 2. And on the tier list, I put it in D tier. And it'll be the only movie in D tier, even though there's a couple other ones that flirted with D tier that I just chose not to put in there. There are some funny one-liners in this movie too. And also, the main theme remixed as like a rock song by Hans Zimmer is pretty cool. Moving on to my number 7. And that'll go to Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning. Yes, the newest release of the Mission Impossible franchise is my second least favorite Mission Impossible movie. I flirted with putting this one in D tier, but I'm feeling a little generous, and honestly, everything from B tier, C tier, B tier down, maybe, everything outside of my top 3 maybe would go down a step if we're talking about, you know, serious film quality, script writing, characters, all that stuff. I've kind of elevated almost everything except for my top 3. Because they're Mission Impossible movies. They're Tom Cruise, you know, they're fun, you know. I'm not judging them as hard as I would other movies. But that's just the fun of this tier list, right? But anyway, this is a movie that flirts with D tier, and I've only put it in C because the airplane sequence and Tom just being great in it. It's the Tom Cruise show. And the submarine scene, but there's way too many flashbacks in this one. The plot is a mess. The AI is a dumb villain. Its plan is dumb. Gabriel was set up as this ultimate baddie from Ethan's life, and it amounted to nothing. He was so comical in this movie too. I burst out laughing multiple times. Score wasn't very good. None of the characters were good besides Ethan. There were too many characters in this movie, and it didn't feel like an end. I'll get to what felt like an end later in this tier list, but frankly, I don't know. It's got some fun moments. I don't hate it per se, but it's a mess. It is what it is. Here at number 6. We have Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning. Yes, this one kind of maybe could be D tier, but there's a couple sequences that I really do enjoy, so I keep it in C tier. Dead Reckoning, what can I say about this movie? I really enjoyed it when it came out, and you'll even listen to that if you do listen to my review. But after, you know, the few years since it came out, I've soured on it a bit. I don't like some of the decisions made in this. Like killing Ilsa, that sucks. Gabriel's not a good villain. The AI was set up and then not executed well at all in the last one. It just, the payoffs in this movie were not, paid off as much as I thought they might be. It's just a step down from other ones on this list that you'll see that are higher up there that came out before it. The train sequence is really fun. The story is convoluted, but I feel like I like the characters a little more in this. I like Haley Atwell's character a little more. Ethan's cool. All of them just had much more to do in Dead Reckoning compared to Final Reckoning. But anyway, that's where I put it. C tier, number 6 on the list. At number 5, we have Mission Impossible 3. Now, I'm not the biggest J.J. Abrams fan. I think he has destroyed multiple franchises, but that's my opinion. This is okay. There's some cool stuff in it. There's some cool moments in it. I don't like the way it's shot. The mid-2000s shaky cam was really popular in the action movies these days, and I didn't like it. It's got some good stuff in it. I do like Philip Seymour Hoffman for the 10-15 minutes that he is in the movie. I wish there was more of him in it, honestly. The subplot with Julia, his wife, turns out to be a big deal later on, which there's stuff I do like about it. But the movie kind of gets boring at times, kind of drags a little bit. The supporting cast is just better than 2, for sure. It's just alright, there's some okay set pieces and stunts, just nothing I really remember, frankly. Super memorable. The opening is memorable, and then that's kind of it, for me at least. But a lot was set up in this movie that gets paid off in 6 and 8, Fallout and Final Reckoning. The Rabbit's Foot, spoiler, turns out to be the Entity, which was weird retcon, so it's definitely an important movie in the franchise, but just not one that I'm, jumping out to watch over and over again compared to some other ones. But like I said, when I do watch through these movies, I watch them all. Now, number 4 on my list is the original Mission Impossible, directed by Brian De Palma. This movie came out in 1996. This set up Tom Cruise as Ethan Hunt and launched the franchise off to where we are today. Now, it's got some fun stuff. It's way more grounded and intimate than any of the other Mission Impossible movies get. It feels completely different. It's more in line with the TV shows than any other the TV show than any of the other movies. I enjoy it. I have some fun with it. The Black Vault scene is one of the most iconic scenes in the whole franchise. It's very good. I love that movie, or that scene. There's some really cool elements like Ethan losing his team in the beginning. Now we know why he's so obsessed with keeping them safe. It sets up his character, his nature. Cool set pieces. The helicopter scene I did not like at all. The whole climax. I also don't like them making Jim Phelps the bad guy, because he was one of the original good guys in the series, and I'm not the biggest fan of it. I think it was lame. If they do the same to Ethan in 10 years, I think it's going to be lame too, so I'm not going to be inconsistent with that. But there's some cool stuff in it, sets up the franchise, and it spends more time with its characters and being a little more grounded than what the franchise does, which pros and cons. It becomes cons later in the franchise, but they find a middle ground in these next few movies that are on the list. So that's my number 4, and that's on the B tier on the tier list. So let's move on to my number 3. Number 3, we have Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol. Now, this was the first Mission Impossible movie that I got to see in the theater and in general. So I am a little biased towards this film that I put it at number 3. It was my introduction to the franchise, to Ethan Hunt, to these characters, to this crazy stunts. The Burj Khalifa scene is one of the most iconic stunts in the whole series, I think, and in general. Climbing up that made the building, I think, so iconic. It already was, but it was so awesome. And the behind the scenes of that is really awesome, too. Check out all the behind the scenes for these movies, but especially that one. Music was great. Brad Bird directed it. He's directed movies like The Incredibles. The score was awesome. It was classical kind of sounding. It was fun. I liked the team. Good supporting cast. I love Jeremy Renner, his character. I know he couldn't come back because Avengers for 6, but I would have loved to seen him back in these movies, and his character had a good dynamic with Ethan. All these kind of characters had a good dynamic, and I know we don't see the gal again either. But overall, B tier. It's almost A tier because the villain, he's so forgettable. Can't remember his name. He's not as bad as Gabriel, in my opinion, who's probably the worst villain in the franchise, tied with the AI, the entity. It's still a super fun movie. Great stunts, great special effects, great set pieces. Fun, great Mission Impossible. Maybe, like I said, I'm biased because it was my first one. Who knows? Moving on to number 2. Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. I remember seeing this in theaters. This was such a fun movie, fun time. The airplane scene where he's holding on, I remember seeing that in the trailer and just, what? It was crazy. I love this movie. It introduced the best villain in the series, one of the two, Solomon Lane. He's so good. The team dynamic, I think, in this and Fallout it's the best. The only thing missing in Fallout is Jeremy Renner, but it doesn't take away. We get introduced to one of the best characters, the best female character in this series, Ilsa Faust. So awesome. The opera scene is cool. The chase is probably my favorite chase scene in any of the movies. The car chase that leads to a bike chase. It's so good. And the whole kind of... she's like the British female foil to Ethan, Ilsa is. So it's the dynamic. Is she helping him? Will she help him? Won't she kind of deal? Will they, won't they kind of deal? But not in a romantic kind of way. But there's that undertones in there too that doesn't really get paid off, sadly. Just such a fun time. Great movie. Cast is so good. Good score. Solomon Lane. The end scene with the twisteroo of Ethan trapping him. It was just great. I have so much fun with this movie. A tier. Second favorite. Now, if you put it together, my number 1 would be Mission Impossible Fallout. Yes, this is S tier. Not only is this the best Mission Impossible movie, this is one of the best action movies ever made. The stakes have never been higher. 7 and 8, they just don't hold a candle to this. The way I see the series is it's 1 through 6. 6 is the true ending, and then the 7 and 8 are like an epilogue, if you will. That might sound weird, I don't know. Fallout is so good. It felt like the proper end. This was basically the best team. If Renner was there, that would be cool. If not, it was perfect. Ilsa, Benji, Ethan, obviously, and Luther. So the whole movie is so paced. Awesome. It's shot beautifully. The White Widow is introduced. She's awesome. Henry Cavill, John Lark, the bathroom scene, the helicopter scene. I could go on about this movie forever. It is just so good. The helicopter, yeah, I said that. My favorite shot in the whole series, though. The whole series. Well, also the beginning scene where they fake out the guy thinking that the Syndicate's plan worked. That's great, too. But anyway. Oh, and saving Solomon Lane, having to capture him. Great time. But anyway, gotta get to my favorite scene in this whole series. Is when they're, waiting for Ethan to pull the pin for the detonator, so that they can cut the wires, and they wait till the last second. Usually I hate this, but this movie, it worked, the last second wait out. And then they ruin it in the other movies. But anyway, the last second, they cut the wires, the screen flashes to white, and you're like, did the nukes go off? And then it cuts to a bright, sun. You think that might be it. And then it cuts to Tom looking at it, and you realize it's the sun coming up, and he's got the pin in his mouth. Oh, it's so good. That's like the best, one of the best subversions of your expectations, and like just visual subversion. It was so good. Probably my favorite scene in the whole series. Loved it. Love this whole movie. It's amazing. Easily S tier. Rogue Nation's good and all, and I like Ghost Protocol and the original Mission Impossible is fine, but none of them hold a candle to Fallout. Fallout is like almost a perfect movie. It even could be a perfect movie. I don't know. My standards are not so insane, but I do have a little bit of a standard. So, your mission, should you choose to accept, is to like, subscribe, follow if you're on Rumble, and share. I hope you enjoyed my video. Let me know what your favorite Mission Impossible movie is, what your least favorite movie is, what's your favorite stunt, what's your favorite character besides Ethan Hunt. Let me know down in the comments below. Oh, also, pick your favorite villain. Yes. Thank you once again, and we'll see you next time here in the Junkyard. This message will self-destruct in 10 seconds.